Welcome to a brand new episode of CNB. I am Siddharth Vinayak Patankar. With me, the brand new third generation of the Hyundai i20. Very important car for the market, certainly a very important car for Hyundai as well. Now, this is a premium hatchback. The space is seeing a little bit of action now. Our first look on this car for you now.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Boy, have we waited for this one for a long time now. The brand new generation of the Hyundai i20 drives in at the right time. It's a time when interest in premium hatchbacks has already been piqued with the arrival of the Tata Altros a few months ago, and there is a lot to expect because going by Hyundai's recent launches, as you can expect, there's a lot that's been loaded into this car. So there's a lot to take you through, and so I figured it makes sense for both of us to do this together. That's me and Amir.
Yes, indeed. There is so much buzz around this premium hatchback that we absolutely have to talk about what it's all about, and it takes two to talk about the i20. So let's get on with it.
So as we typically do, we'll start by talking about the design. Everything here is sharper and edgier compared to the last car. Lots of cuts and straight lines, and your attention gets drawn into that grille. It's like what you saw with the turbo version of the Verna that recently drove in, and they call it the prismatic grille. So the good news, there's no chrome version of this across the range. So the turbo gets this one, which is the edgiest form of it, and you get a slightly different pattern, but still in glossy black on the other variants. There's a different pattern on the diesel and a different one for the 1.2 petrol. But you know what? I like this one. It gets all your attention, and it certainly gives the car a lot of width and that edgy feel. You get that in how sharp the bumper styling is as well. The fact that you got high gloss black finish down here in the lip also helps that. And then, of course, the LED headlamp DRL. Now, I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but just want to tell you that you got a slightly different headlamp cluster. It's an all LED sort of an affair in the European version. The car looks very much like the European model. Similar kind of hood line, similar kind of sharp cuts, but I don't understand why we get a different DRL. It's just a simple line. Now, when the car is so dramatic, I would have liked to have a dramatic DRL. So the European version gets a little angled down line here as well. So it's a dual lined DRL. This one's a little simplistic. I can't seem to understand why.
In fact, the alloy wheels on the European spec version actually look great. These are all right, of course. But what you get at the rear is this massive windshield. A lot of glass area there, and it looks pretty good too. Now, this black element that you see right here was earlier on the C-pillar. It has been moved back and acts more or less like a rear spoiler, so to say. And according to Hyundai, that actually helps reduce coefficient drag. Then there's this glossy black element that you see that stretches on the tailgate. Now, we know we've seen this element, we've seen it on the Altros, but it looks distinct on the i20. What is also distinct is this tail lamp. And the Z-shaped tail lamp actually adds a bit of flavor to the i20. It looks big and messes up completely with the proportions, but it still looks distinct. I mean, from a distance, you will definitely say that, yeah, there goes an i20. What we don't like in all of this is that chrome element there that stretches from tail lamp to tail lamp. That could have been something different for sure, like some red reflective element in there. Right, Siddharth?
Yes, you're right. And you know what? That edgy look of the taillights, it gets enhanced by this window line because, again, it's got a very sharp angle cutting upwards over here. That's different. And the other impression you get when you look at the side of the vehicle is that it seems to have grown, because it has. It's wider, it's a little bit longer, taller. And more interestingly, the wheelbase has also been enhanced compared to the previous version. Now that's got to mean more space in the back for passengers, right, Amir?
Aha! 2 steps ahead of you. I can vouch for the space it has inside. The wheelbase has grown by 10 millimeters, but the rear leg room has increased by 88 millimeters according to Hyundai. And it shows. Look at that amount of space I have. And there's good amount of headroom as well, and pretty nice shoulder room. Now, with me in as a healthy person, there are 2 more definitely who can sit here. There's also the rear armrest that you have. Does not have cup holders, but you get it still. You also have rear AC vents on offer, and there is a USB charging port. So decent amount of space at the rear, and really nice, nicely equipped. And of course, there is good amount of thigh support as well. So overall, a good space to be in. But it's the front that has massive changes.
Well, buddy, I beat you to it. I'm here already.
No!
Now the cabin's a lot like the global spec. This one's the turbo, so you got a few red elements. You got a very different kind of a AC vents integration into the dash pattern. It's nice, the plastics seem good. We'll have to look at this in the real world though before passing any judgment on it. Very sleek climate control system down here, and it's all very slim, very enhanced in terms of looking more edgy. I hate to keep using that word. Well, you know what? The little red piping you see here and the stitching, that's only on the dual tone versions. The rest get a copper tone. And the thing that's getting my attention is that digital instrument cluster. It's very nice, the animation is very different, and it's got this little TFT screen integrated into the middle, which gives you lots of information, including tire pressure monitoring, which is nice to have from a safety perspective. And you know what? The thing that also gets my attention, the tachometer. It's a reverse tacho. Guess where we've seen that before? Yes, that's a direct lift from the recent BMW models, isn't it?
But what takes center stage is this 10.25-inch touchscreen infotainment system. And it sits right above the aircon vents, which have the horizontal slats, as Siddharth told you earlier, and it stretches from either end to either end of the dashboard. There are physical buttons on this one, lower on the center console, so you have essential items basically covered as far as the buttons are concerned. But you also get 2 charging points and a 12-volt charger, and then there is the wireless charging, so you're covered on that front too. What I really love about this car is that steering wheel. It comes straight out from the Creta. Looks absolutely gorgeous in this one. Loved it in the Creta, love it in this one too. And this one actually looks more compact in the i20. Just, a good one for a peppy car like this, right? But what is also interesting is that you also get a lot of steering mounted controls, which is good for a car like this as well. But the real ace up its sleeve is the BlueLink connectivity.
Hyundai has gone big on features with this one. The top spec also comes with an air purifier. There's also a cooled glove box and even multi-device Bluetooth connectivity.
Buyers will certainly be spoilt for choice when it comes to choosing a variant of the new i20. There are 3 engine options on the table: a 1.2-litre naturally aspirated petrol, a 1-litre turbo petrol, and the 1.5-litre diesel. The 1.2 petrol belts out 87 bhp, the 1.5 diesel pushes out 99 bhp. The most powerful version though is the 1-litre turbo petrol that punches 118 bhp. While a manual gearbox will be available with the 1.2 petrol and 1.5 diesel, the 1-litre will only get an IMT, that's Intelligent Manual Transmission, remember. Both petrol engines will be available with an automatic option. The 1.2 gets the CVT, what Hyundai calls IVT, while the 1-litre turbo of course has the 7-speed DCT. No diesel automatic, strangely, despite the combination showing up in the Kia Sonet. So it's promising to be another pocket rocket, but I have to say, after the Sonet especially, I am surprised not to see a diesel automatic. That's a bit odd. But all of this is not what you're really interested in. You now want to know the prices, don't you?
The i20 has been launched in 4 variants in both petrol and diesel. The 1.2-litre petrol manual starts at 6,80,000 rupees and tops out at 9,19,000 rupees. The car with the same engine and automatic transmission costs 8,59,000 rupees, topping out at 9,69,000 rupees. The 1-litre turbo petrol with the intelligent manual transmission starts at 8,79,000 rupees, going all the way up to 9,89,000 rupees. There's also the 7-speed DCT on offer on the turbo petrol, and that is priced between 10,66,000 rupees to 11,17,000 rupees. Finally, the diesel manual, and that car costs between 8,19,000 rupees to 10,59,000 rupees. Hyundai, of course, says that these prices are introductory and can be availed by customers till December the 31st. There's something about riding a motorcycle in a relaxed, unhurried pace. And the unmistakable thump of a Royal Enfield is as close as you can get to a meditative state on 2 wheels.
So the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is the latest 350cc motorcycle from Royal Enfield. All new motorcycle, all new engine, all new frame, all new bodywork, all new design, completely ground up, all new motorcycle. And it's not only going to be sold in India, it's going to be a global product, so to be sold in Southeast Asia, Europe and even North America. That's the one we are riding today, the new Royal Enfield Meteor 350.
The new Meteor 350 will replace the Royal Enfield Thunderbird 350. In fact, it's the first model on the all-new 350cc platform with new design and features. The Royal Enfield Meteor 350 is a cruiser at heart, made for relaxed and easy riding. And it's equally at home inside the city and out on the open highway. The trademark thump from the exhaust is still there, but there's a noticeable change in the engine refinement and the engine revs freer and higher. Gear changes are slicker and more precise. The engine feels livelier, and overall the new Meteor feels like it's got significant mechanical improvements. The only downside are the tires, which do not give that sense of confidence while taking on a corner aggressively. Although the new double DOWNTUBE chassis seems to give the Meteor 350 a solid sense of stability.
So one of the highlights on the new Meteor 350 is, of course, is brand new 350cc engine. Preetham, absolutely new. Haven't seen this before. A little more powerful than earlier. Little less torque. What do you make of this machine?
Well, little more powerful, yes, just 1 bhp. On paper, similar figures really. 1 bhp more, 1 Newton meters less. But what has changed, of course, is that this one is revs freer. So that 20.2 bhp comes at much higher RPM and the torque spread is wider. So what this means in the real world is that this one feels more refined, more eager to go, slightly more refined to go. And a torque spread means that when you're sitting at highway speeds at 90, 100, the old UCV 350 used to feel slightly, out of breath at 100 plus speeds. This one can sit at 100, 110 all day long. Top speed more or less the same, 120 kilometers per hour, but you can cruise comfortably at 100, 110 like we've experienced before.
There's no mistaking that the Meteor 350 is the new 350cc Royal Enfield cruiser. The chrome has been toned down with the blacked out engine and alloy wheels, which now come with tubeless tires, the first for a Royal Enfield. The headlight is a halogen unit with a LED DRL ring, and on the top end, Supernova variant, the tall windshield and pillion seat backrest are standard features. The instrument console is all new too, with a part analog, part digital main console and a smaller separate digital pod which doubles up as the clock as well as the display for turn-by-turn navigation. The rotary switches give a sense of old school cool and are easy to operate. With the new Tripper app, there are a host of features available, including planning rides, bike customization, and turn-by-turn navigation through Bluetooth. What is a miss is perhaps incoming call and message alerts. With the Make It Yours customization program, Royal Enfield will offer customers to have their own individual stamp of design, offering an almost endless list of custom possibilities with homologated, genuine accessories.
So just like Royal Enfield wants every single Meteor to look different, every biker too is different. There are likes and dislikes. So please tell me, Preetham, what do you like and not like about this motorcycle?
What I like, of course, is the engine. It's significantly refined, very smooth performance. The gearbox is very slick. And what is going to be a slight disappointment is the top speed. The top end performance is more or less the same, tops out at about 120 kilometers per hour. And considering it's a global product, the Meteor 350, and it's going to be sold in markets like Europe and North America, I don't see how 120 kilometers per hour top speed is going to appeal to those kind of riders. And what I don't like, of course, not many things, but the design of the tail section somewhat feels out of place with the overall look and feel of the bike, doesn't it?
I think I agree with you, Preetham, on that front. I think when you look at the bike from the rear when compared to the front of the profile, it does seem like a miss. And of course, for me, somebody as tall as me, 6 feet tall, the seat height is a slight disappointment. 765 millimeters could have been better for me. What works is a very good ground clearance. Compared to the Thunderbird, it's much better. And yes, the blacked out engine as well. I like the fact that it's been carried forward from the Thunderbird X. And of course, the Tripper feature that they've put on the bike will help bikers on long distances. Could have come with a little more features, but that is what you get on the bike till now. That final question, you have ridden so many Enfields over the last 2 decades, even more. Will you call it the best Enfield yet of all that you've ridden?
Well, I'd still say it's a significant improvement on the 350cc platform. And our guess is the same engine will be carried forward to the Bullet in the Classic in the years to come. Mind it, the UCE engine, this one is a significant improvement, of course. And in terms of features you talked about, a Tripper app, yes, very welcome change. You get connectivity, but it's an all-new bike. Even bikes smaller than and lower segments also get incoming call alerts, text SMSs.
Right.
You don't get those. Why? Why those misses?
Correct, absolutely.
If you look at the 350cc engine, perhaps this is the best, but is it the best Royal Enfield?
The Royal Enfield Meteor. Now you've got to react to that bike. We have had so much anticipation around it, so I'm glad it's finally here. And I have to say the same about the i20. Don't worry, I know we just showed you the static first look. I'll be spending a lot of time with all the guys from the team, bringing you all the details The drivetrains, the performance, the technology, the features, that's on the show next week. Please wear your seatbelts, please wear your helmets, and take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.